this computer. Well, welcome everybody. Please do turn your camera on. It'd be nice to see you at the start of 2022. And yeah, just use your blurred background if you want to. You can see that Kit has a blurred background. It looks like it's a virtual one, but actually she's not. Kit, where are you?
I'm at a place called Stradbroke Island, which is off the coast of Brisbane. We're on normally we have big family holidays at this time of year. So I'm in the campground at the in the place where everyone's washing their dishes and everything, but it's very quiet. So hopefully I don't think there'll be any problems if I drop out, it's only because the internet here isn't as awesome as it is in Japan. But anyway, so we'll see how we go.
Can you show us the campground and make us?
Oh, okay, sure. Hang on. Let me just get out of this so I can change the preferences. So this is Australian living.
That guy finished.
Oh,
hello, Barbie.
Here I am. So I don't know if you can. I'll try to get out of the way a bit. So it just looks like a normal campground that you guys would have as well. That's the amenities there. And there's people camping just here. But the beach is just there. Yeah, it's summertime. But this beach is just beautiful. Place. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's very rainy and cold in Osaka right now. So you make us feel like we wish we could travel down the internet cables and pop out.
Oh, well, think of me in about half an hour after the class. I'll be swimming in the warm ocean.
What's the name again?
I'll be thinking Stradbroke Island, or the traditional name is Quandamuka.
Yeah, no, I found that. It looked amazing.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay. This is only way we can see other countries nowadays. It's Zoom, isn't it? We can't go and visit, unfortunately.
No, not yet. But it would be great to come up to Japan at some time. Starting to settle down now. So that would be good.
Yeah, we still have one more wave to get through, I think.
Mm.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. So this is session 12. I have some slides that I'm going to start to just sort of briefly introduce where we are. And then, as you know, the focus of today's session is on your projects, your Adobe Premiere projects. And yeah, what we're going to do is going to have a look at how your projects are organized, and also maybe discuss with each team what key tasks are that are still remaining for you. So please, I'm hoping that each team has designated one person who is going to be able to share your projects. And if you are the person who's going to share, I hope that you've already booted up your Adobe Premiere project, because it takes a little bit of time. Next week, we are discussing impact producing. So kind of more high level reflection on, why make documentaries? What's the value of doing that? Especially, for many of you as scientists and academics, maybe you're thinking, how can I use documentary filmmaking in my work? And then the next question is, what kind of impact does documentary production have compared to other types of outputs from work? And I think there's a lot of advice out there about how to ensure, once you've produced a video, that it can go and have a big impact. It can become viral, or you can make sure that lots and lots of people see it in different places. And then the final session, which is on the 25th of January, that's where we're going to give you feedback on your video projects. And it's a chance also for you to give us share some of your thoughts on what you've experienced during this course. So effectively, you have 2 weeks to now pull the project together and to make the final cut. I hope that you've been working on it during the break, or I hope that you have a plan for what you're going to do over the next 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to hearing from each team about that. Couple of sort of admin things. Firstly, there's 2 tasks that are outstanding for all of you, and they are part of your grade. So please don't fail to submit. So one of them is a peer evaluation report. As we've emphasized continuously throughout this course, it's really, these kinds of projects really rely on good teamwork. And so what we really want you to do is to evaluate the performance of the team members. So there's a Word file that I shared via email, but it's also on the learning management system, where you are scoring your peers according to a number of measures. And then there's this notion that you've been given an extra $1,000 bonus. And what you need to do is you need to decide how you would share that with your colleagues. So you're not allowed to give yourself $1,000. You have to think about, okay, how did each team member contribute, and how would I reward that? So that's one exercise, and it counts for 5% of your marks. The next final exercise is a critical reflection. So it's a 300-word short report where you talk about the lessons you've learned on this course and how it might be useful for you in your future career. So for instance, could be technical aspects of video production or editing, could be the experience you had working with out in the field, talking to the protagonist, trying to figure out how to get the story together, or it could be something that's been shared by the course instructors, something that Kit or Luis or myself has said that struck you. So yeah, we just need a short report for you to submit, and that's going to be something you can do via CLE in Turnitin. If you have any questions about that, let me know. So the one thing I'd like to emphasize is that we have a couple of books here at the Co-Design Center. If you want to spend some time just figuring out how Adobe Premiere works, we have one book which is actually from Adobe, and that's in English. There's another book here on Premiere Pro. Actually, I recommend this one. It's in Japanese, but it's really detailed, and the best thing about it, it's got lots of illustrations to support it. So as I say, we've got a couple of books. Please think about coming in and having a look. If you want to take them home for a while, that's no problem, but take advantage of the fact that those are available. The other thing is that really recommend that you do the tutorials in Adobe Premiere. And I think that's also something that maybe, people who haven't officially designated themselves as the editor, the video editor for the projects, I still think you should maybe come into the Co-Design Center and spend a little bit of time playing around with Adobe Premiere, because it's just it's a great opportunity for you. And I think it would be a shame if you miss it, you don't take advantage of that. Same with the cameras as well. If you want to come and use the cameras that are here in the studio, I would really recommend that you do that, even though we only have a couple of weeks left in the course. Likewise, if you're struggling with anything, what I tend to do, and I think I've seen some of you doing it already when you've come into the studio, if you've got some sort of technical issue that you don't know how to resolve it, generally, if you search on YouTube or on Google, you'll find out that somebody's come up with a very quick and easy way for you to solve that problem. And it really helps you kind of figure out how you would be using these software in the future and how you'd be solving the problems even after this course is finished. So I really do recommend you do some hands-on work over the next couple of weeks if your schedule permits. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we want to have a look at each one of your projects and see how you're just organizing, what your file structure looks like, and so on. And also it's a chance for you to sort of say, okay, this is what I've done so far. And then maybe some of the tasks that are sitting ahead of you over the next couple of weeks include whether you're going to add some transitions or whether you're going to put titles in or subtitles. It would be really nice to see how much progress you've made on that. Maybe another area, especially a couple of videos had some problems with the audio at the rough cut. So for instance, if you've been working on trying to fix the audio, or if you have some challenges associated with that one, maybe we can talk about that a little bit as well. Color correction is probably something that's going to be beyond you on this course. So we're not really pushing for you to actually to do that. But if any of you are struggling with color correction, we'll be happy to talk about it. So that's basically where we are for now. And does anybody have any questions? No, all clear. So
I think around the issue of color correction, there are videos on YouTube that if you are interested in learning about that in specific detail, there's quite a lot of different how to do that in Adobe, but then also in other programs as well that you can download. So if you don't get to it, but you do want to add that extra dimension to the project afterwards, it can be done.
And why would you do color correction on the video like the ones that we're producing now? Is it to add a certain mood to it, or
Are you asking me? Yeah. I guess with color correction, it just adds an additional production value. So it makes the reds, if there's a particular tone that you're wanting to add, like if you want the film to look like it's winter, or you want the film to look like it's summer, or you want to give it a particular grainy look, or there's some kind of additional aesthetic that you want to give the film, then color correction is really great for that.
Okay. Luis, did you want to say anything?
Yes, I guess there's there's two ways to see this. When you say color correction, it's correcting things too, right? So there's often little mistakes that you do, or you don't get everything so perfect. So you can just do a little bit of that is not too complicated, and already you can fix a lot actually. Like if it's a little bit dark, your shots, or if you shot on the wrong color temperature, those kind of things you can fix very easily, and you don't have to go into very, very in-depth color correction kind of thing. Then we use other word too, that is color grading. That is maybe more what Kit was saying too. I mean, people use the words indistinctively, like interchangeably, but that's when you can also do a lot more, right? Like give it a mood or a style or everything, but maybe that's too much. But for at least you have to do a little bit just to fix whatever issues you have, right? And that's very easy to do.
Right.
You have a kangaroo on the background or something?
What is that?
It's a Komodo dragon or something?
Let's see if we can. What is
now Kit is making a documentary live.
It is a dragon, isn't it? What?
It's a baby dragon or something? Or it's a huge lizard?
You're muted. Maybe you could speak and tell us what that is.
Yeah, give us some narration.
Yeah.
It's a goanna. It's a local lizard. Yeah, he's really big. Don't come here. Don't come out. Okay, he's gone. Sorry to interrupt, but I couldn't help it. It's very exciting.
Now we can see him behind you.
It's climbing your back.
Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. No, it's nice. Mayumi, did you have some comment?
No comment. Just please give us the references of the two books you mentioned.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
in CLE or
okay.
Oh, now I can see that.
This one is Adobe Premiere Pro, Classroom in a Book, and this is the 2021 version. And then this one is the Japanese one I was talking about, and that's published by who's the publisher? I'm not sure. Anyway, I will definitely post them into the CLE as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so
let's do it.
Okay, so who is ready to, who's going to present from each team? Maybe we could start out with that. So let's go for casual films. Who is going to share?
Yes, can you hear me, Will?
Yeah, Miura-san, you're going to do it.
Yes. So
Okay. Let's just find out who's presenting from each team first, and then
okay, I see.
yeah. How about from Spark House? Spark House, who is presenting? Is that
Well, sorry, we forgot to go to the studio and we cannot share the Premiere subject.
you forgot to go to the studio? Okay. So you're not able to share your project with us?
Yes.
Okay, I did send around an email reminding everybody to come who needed to come into the studio to actually let me know in advance. Okay, that's not very good. Right then, Hocus Pocus. I think that's actually going to be Mikako-san. Is that right?
Hi.
Hi,
Shall
I can hear you fine. We can hear you fine. I can see your text message there saying that you're actually in the
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
And
Can you hear us okay?
yes.
Okay, so you are also in the studio, so you will be able to share your project. yeah?
Yes. And with Miss Yoshimoto-san.
Oh, hi. Great. Okay, so that's good. So we have two teams that are able to share. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then wait until we check with Legendary. So Legendary Productions, who is going to share your Adobe Premiere? Hello, Legendary Productions. Who is going to, Yunnan, are you going to share? Is anybody from Legendary Productions going to be able to share your Adobe Premiere? Can you hear me? I have no one turning on the camera from Legendary Productions. Okay. All right, well, I guess then we just have two teams who are ready to share their videos with us. Luis, are you there? Okay. All right, so let's begin then with Casual Productions. Yura-san, are you
Okay,
able to
yes.
share your project with us?
Okay. Okay, can you see the
Oh, yes.
screen? And what should I go? What should I show you?
First of all, I'm very curious as to how you've set up that project. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Just click here and
Oh, okay. So you have also
yeah.
maybe you could share-
Okay. Yeah. I use the dual display. I usually use two displays to
Okay.
do the editing. So yeah, it seems like that.
Can you put it on a way that we can see it, because you have two screens on top of each other now, so we cannot see properly neither of them.
Okay. So
Maybe just go to the default editing view.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll fix it now.
Or you can dock it too. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And like
I'm-
this.
Nihongo no Premiere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I have to open mine to see what controls are what.
Have you made any changes since the last time we saw it?
Yeah, I shortened the whole video to 5 minutes, 30 seconds,
Oh.
because yeah,
How
because
long
it,
was
wa-
it?
Great.
Late?
it was 8 minutes about, yeah. So I deleted some blank clips, and yeah,
So you're on the Henshin partner. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to do something. Please go to the view menu and just sorry, not to the window menu, and just make the workplace reset to save layout. Workspace UNIARU W
yeah, here.
and then go to reset to saved layout, something like that. In there you see that one. Yes, go there.
Yeah,
Go for it.
save to layout.
Yes,
Reset to layout.
yes, reset to save layout.
Okay.
Let's do that. Okay, that's easy to understand. Easier to understand for us.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, good. That's good. That's the default basically for the editing screen.
Yeah, I see.
Yes. Okay, that's good. That's easier to understand now. Okay. So how do we do this, Brendan?
Well, I'm kind of curious as to how you've organized your
Yes.
files, yeah?
Maybe you can just give us like a 1-2 minute kind of presentation or explaining us how you
Okay.
organize your beans folders there, and then how you organize your timeline.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yes. So first I collected I sorted the data from my camera to the sources folder using this Windows folder applications, and I put into the project folder as a new pin, and I sorted those sources into the several categories.
Okay.
Like source additional, and first I created a new sequence. Actually, there is a sequence.
Yep.
Sequence, and yes, this is my first sequence, and I put some clips into the sequence by dragging and dropping.
Good.
And I shortened, I did some editing by, cutting or moving or something
Sure.
there. And I duplicated the sequence for next editing.
So as you were progressing, you were duplicating and keep moving forward, right? Yeah, that's
because you told me in the YouTube video. Yes.
That's exactly what I do. That's a good idea.
Yes. And yeah, as my project progress, I use the transition or some color correction or audio correction or title effect or something.
Okay.
And yes.
I don't know if you can make the tracks a little bit less big, not so high.
Okay.
So we can see the whole yeah. The whole thing. Yeah, exactly. That's one thing, but also just the tracks themselves a little bit not so tall, not so high. You can make them a bit shorter. The track itself.
Okay, track itself. Okay. Wait. All right.
So you have to go. Okay. And yeah, that's good. Exactly. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now we can see a bit more, and you can do the same for the sound. Yeah, that's great. I mean, you have lots of stuff going on. It's difficult to judge everything, but in general, my advice would be just to keep adding one type of content per each track, Like if all your
yeah.
interviews could be on the track 1, and all the not interviews but other videos that you are using to illustrate the video, they can be on track 2 and 3.
Mhm,
So try to keep same type of content on the same track,
mhm,
right? So for example, if you have the interview audio, you keep them on maybe on the audio track 1 and 2,
mhm.
and then you keep maybe the sound of the music on track 7, this kind of thing, right? That would
yeah.
make it a lot more organized.
Okay.
Yeah,
see.
you have a lot. I think it looks like you have a lot of text or graphics in the middle there on the pink. This pink
Yes.
ones are those pink ones. Is
Yes.
yeah. So sometimes it's fine to have many tracks like this, but just try to keep them organized.
I see.
And I see you are using a lot of markers.
Yeah.
Which is good. There's another function of the markers that I discovered recently, that you can open them and make like a note almost. Do you know how to do that?
Yes. I actually I'm not here, but I have deleted the one, but I usually use this comment.
Yeah, but it's even more than that. So that, for example, this you see the duration there. You have a duration of 0. Make
Yes.
it make that duration longer.
Yes.
Yeah, like a few seconds or something.
Mhm.
Even longer. Okay, it's not. Click OK.
Yes.
Click OK on the yes, there on that screen. Click OK.
Okay.
Okay, no, you're not clicking OK. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you see that the marker now it kind of opens.
Yes. Yes.
You can see a little bit something there.
Mhm.
So that it will display that
Like
the name
this.
of the marker.
Mhm.
So that's super useful to make notes.
Yes.
For example, this part is where we are gonna, I don't know, whatever you put, this is the something in your video, so you can put it all one after another, and then you can make the structure of your video through these notes, and then it's very easy for you to follow.
Oh,
For example, at the beginning, you may say, I want to give 1 minute to this part, so just create a 1 minute marker like this and put it at the beginning, and then you can see, oh, this is the 1 minute, this is what I am targeting. And that's super useful.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. Thank you.
And then yeah, the only other advice would be to use the colors of both the markers and the clips, just to help you organize things. You're already doing it a bit, like all the pinks maybe is the text, but then you can go even further and do a little bit more with the colors. You know the how do you call it, the labels for clips, right? If you right click any clip, right click it, right click the clip, and then look for the label,
yeah, here,
and then just change it to any color.
Oh yeah.
And then it helps you a lot to organize things.
I see.
You can create your own whatever organization convention, and then just use it.
I was just wondering,
Yes.
Luis, when you have in this instance, I can see like the video line is going up to 8 there.
The what, sorry?
I can see video 8 or video actually was up to 11 video tracks. Yeah.
Yes.
Should that, when you have, I guess Miura-san, basically you just kept adding another track and then another track and then moving something up onto that extra track, but then you ended up with 11, I think. Is that right?
Yes. So I mean, it's common that when you are editing, it becomes a bit messy, but once in a while you have to come back and kind of organize it. So if in the process of your work you created lots of tracks, just organize it like I told you, and then you will have you will need less tracks for sure. And then there's a function in, I think it's in the sequence menu, assembly no menu.
Sequence menu.
Sequence menu. Like erase, delete tracks. Torakuno.
Here.
So you can delete tracks. So you can go there, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you know that
Yes.
feature, and then it will erase all the empty ones.
Yeah.
And then that's like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then even
Right,
now,
right,
I'm sure you, yeah, exactly. It will erase already,
okay.
but not many, because you have maybe 1, 2 clips on one track. So you can just, if you organize it a bit, then you go there and then it will erase all the empty ones.
Mhm.
And you will
Yeah.
end up with a little bit easier to manage project.
Okay, I see.
Maybe that's already lots of advice. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually feel like you've done a very good job.
Thank you.
And I think now the challenge for you is also to tidy this up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And you've obviously also been working quite hard because you've managed to reduce it from 8 minutes down to 5, which is
Yes.
also work. And yeah, actually, I'm impressed by you've worked hard to get a pretty good
Yeah.
understanding of Adobe Premiere. Yeah,
Mhm.
very
How's
good.
the audio looking?
Sound quality.
Yeah, how when we zoom in on the audio 1, 2, and 3, how far down? You've got 6 tracks there. You haven't, obviously you're just editing at the moment. Is the sound quality okay right across, like in terms of the levels? You got
Yeah.
anything that's peaking?
Yeah. Yeah, I try to adjust below the yellow level to or the audio loudness.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Maybe zoom in a little, just if you can make it just a little bit bigger. Have a
Yeah.
look at it for a sec.
Mm,
Yeah, the audio tracks maybe.
wait.
Yeah, that yeah.
Something like this.
Exactly. Now, yeah, for audio it's better to see them big. I mean, if you don't have all files that are peaking, should be fine.
Yes. And I'm sorry. What should I do now?
Is that enough, Kate? You wanted to say something else?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to check that the sound was okay. I mean, there's also a command. If you go command plus or command minus next to the delete button, you can,
Like the timeless,
yeah, similarly to that process that you're doing now, you can kind of expand and contract the timeline as well. So you can sort of zoom in on certain spots. But yeah, no, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure that the sound levels on there were okay, and that there wasn't anything that you were trying to fix with adjusting the sound levels. I guess
Yes.
at some point you're going to need to do a small mix on those tracks as well, right? So
Yeah.
putting markers in and dragging it down.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, great.
How close do you think you are to finishing? What do you still feel you need to do, Miura-san?
Yeah. I actually I need to add some B-rolls.
Oh,
And we haven't gone to take the shooting, so we have to take a shoot. We have to have shooting and add some B-rolls in these clips, and I have to do the editing for the clips. And yes,
okay, I see.
When are you planning to do those pickups? Because it's due in 2 weeks, right? Everyone knows it's due in 2 weeks.
yeah, actually, we are going to take a shoot on this week or next week.
Okay. Yeah, check the the weather forecast.
Yeah,
You're shooting indoors or outdoors?
maybe indoors.
Okay,
And yeah,
right. Yeah. Okay.
Is it the B-roll of the board game that you're doing the pickups on, or?
the creators is drawing some pictures, as you said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll look great. Yeah. I'd try and organize that sooner rather than later in case there's any problems with, I don't know, sickness or people not available. probably best to try and get that sorted out as soon as
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
Have you got subtitles in there already or not?
There are many subtitles like I use the After Effects to do the
Oh yeah.
title effects or something like this.
Is it possible to have also English subtitles?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the English subtitles.
Okay, that's great,
Yeah.
because at the end I'd like to put this onto YouTube
Mm-hmm.
so that
Yeah,
people who don't read Japanese.
yeah, I think it's better.
Okay, good. Great. Any additional comments?
I think with those subtitle tracks, if you've got, say whatever vision track is with the subtitles, so say for example your vision track is V6, then you could make the English V7, and then when you export you could just mute V6 or V7 so that it's all in one, or you could create a completely separate sequence. One's called the Japanese version and one's called the English version. But
yeah, so should I make two version of movies? One is English version and one is Japanese version, or
I mean, I don't know about you, Luis, but generally I make two different versions because it just depends on, so that it doesn't get confusing in if you have to change the lengths of everything. But I would say, if you you just basically do a duplicate of the timeline once you're happy with the film, and then make an English subtitle version with the titles as well. Luis, would you agree?
Personally, I would rather just keep the timeline as it is and just have two language subtitles tracks. Yeah, just so I haven't done language versioning slightly too much, but I think I would, if you ask me now, I would just keep the edit same and just have two language tracks for the two subtitle tracks, one English and one Japanese. And actually now there is a whole new caption system in Premiere.
I heard about it. Yeah.
That's a whole other class, but it's quite, it makes it a lot easier to use actually, and you can import subtitles with SRT files, but maybe that's complicated. This way that you are doing it is very straightforward, but just so guys are aware that there's a whole captions panel now in Premiere that you can do things to.
Okay, I'll check it.
So maybe Luis's advice in just having a separate track, like a V6 or a V7 or above the Japanese version, so you can switch them on and off depending on which project, which one you export. Does that make sense?
Yes.
To do with the subtitle version.
Also, the subtitles look quite difficult to read there with how do you say it?
Yeah, so like what you have now, I wouldn't call it a subtitle. It's more like it's a text on a screen.
Yeah.
I mean, if it happens to see what he's saying, maybe you are going more into a creative way to use text to say things. But these are not subtitles, right? Subtitles will be with the format of subtitles on the bottom, all the text on the same size, and it will look like subtitles. Now, this I wouldn't call them subtitles.
This is very similar to Japanese television, isn't it? Where often on Japanese television, they highlight what the person is saying with really big, bright colored.
Yeah, so that's a different style, no? So that's not, I guess it's almost subtitles, but I mean, it's a Japanese TV style, no? But I mean, you can make creative use of text, highlighting what they are saying, but that's different from subtitles, right? But it's very connected too, you know? So you have to decide if you are going to use these kind of things together with subtitles, would may clash with each other, because you will have text for the subtitles and then you're trying to use text on top in a creative way, and then maybe you're repeating both things in the subtitles and in the text on the screen that you have there. So you have to think how you're going to do it in a good way, right? So it's consistent, and because you have to keep doing the same thing in the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
You cannot just do something in the beginning and then something else in the middle and something else at the end. You have, if you have some creative idea, you have to some more or less consistently apply it. You know?
Mhm.
So if some text, like, I don't know, you want to have some text, what is they saying? Game on, nani? Game on nantoka shite ashiano hito no nantoka kantoka. So if you wanna, if you wanna have text on the screen for whatever reason, then you have to keep using similar style later too, for similar purpose, right? So your video has to be consistent.
Yeah. Actually, I use this similar types, text styles
Mm.
like this, and yeah.
Yeah, so basically the advice is to take a look at the whole thing and then come up with something consistent across the board that works well, and also figure out what you're going to do about the English subtitles and how you're going to manage that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's fine. Thank you, Miura-san. That's
Yeah.
a good project. You've made a lot of progress.
Thank you, Tayo-san.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, it looks great. Looks good.
Thank you for sharing that. And now maybe we can go to the Hocus Pocus team.
Focus.
Is Issei-san there or? Yep. Yoshimoto-san, can you hear me?
Yes, we got a bit of problem here.
Oh, what's the problem?
これ聞こえないですか？
聞こえてます。
Can you hear me?
あ、でもマイクが。
ほら。
あ、本当だ。あれ。
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear okay. Are you able to share your project?
Is my voice clear?
Yes, good. Your voice is clear.
聞こえてるのかな？
Yes,
聞こえてる。
we can hear you.
なんでしょう。
We can hear you. Do you want to share your project?
Yes, we can hear you now. Is
Okay.
my voice clear?
Yes, fine. It's clear.
Yes, we'd like to, but we got a problem. We did edit last week, but yes, but
なんかすごい30秒ぐらいずれてる。
これ
I'm sorry.
これ
Are you able to share your application?
Why don't you tell us what's the problem? Maybe we can fix it for you
どう
now
なってるの？
in 1 minute.
I'm sorry. There is a time lag for around 30 seconds.
That's okay. We just want to see your project. Or time lag, you mean because of Zoom, a time lag? Okay, I'm coming to the studio. 1 minute.
Okay.
あ、出てくる。
Is that the studio? I think, what's, is that the virtual background or is the real background?
We got a problem here.
Maybe that's the way. Maybe it's not. The screen is not sharing.
Oh.
Or something.
Twice because
Oh yeah, I see. You're actually time lagging. Yeah. How do you...
めっちゃ遅い。
real background.
I see. So your project. How come you cannot?
It's not moving or what? It's not playing it?
The internet connection is not so good. Why can't we share screen? Yeah. It's.
What if you switch off Zoom and start again,
I
Brendan?
can see that. Let me see if I can check. I don't know why that isn't working.
That's okay.
始めていい？
なんて言います？どうぞ。
Brendan, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry, they have about 30-second time lag there. So they can hear us, but and also for some reason they don't have share screen option, which is a bit weird. Okay, but
Would it work if we turned off Zoom on that computer and rebooted it or something?
we could try, yeah. They
Maybe that could work just in terms of giving the computer a chance to recalibrate.
Okay, so actually, maybe while they're doing that, perhaps if we could have Legendary Productions and Wang Sang, you said you would be able to talk us through your project and maybe share that with us, although you haven't been using Adobe Premiere, but that would be good. And while that's happening, I can have a look and see if there's something I can do with the Hocus Pocus. So, yep. Could you
okay, first I want to say sorry because just now I go to another place, so I didn't hear that. And so sorry for that.
That's okay.
Okay, and I will share my screen. How to say this one?
And Kit and Luis, could you just basically give some feedback while I check? Yeah.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see your screen with a cat having a nap or something.
Okay, I didn't. First, I want to say we put the task into two stages. The first stage is to realize the effect. The second stage is to use the Adobe Premiere because as for some effects, it may be a little bit harder in PR for me. But in this software, we have reached the same effect. So and for some usage in PR, I have to refer to the textbook. So I choose to edit the video in this software at the beginning. But in the second stage, we may use the PR to realize the video automatically. And first, I want to show. We edit the video to 3 parts. The first part is introduction. Can share. Okay, this is the first part we use. This is the first part we use some pictures and the music, which is a little bit horrible to attract the audience, to let them put their eye on the screen to show what we want to show. What we want to show is the stray cat helped in our university. This is our first stage, which is introduction. And the second part is
we found an injured stray cat. It is reluctant to approach humans. Luckily, we got help from the Animal Protection Society. They are passionate and experienced and are experts in animal protection at Southeast University. It's a pity that this stray cat we call Tang Yuan passed away, unfortunately. The Animal Protection Society receives many such requests every day. Some of these stray animals come from the dormitory area, some from the teaching area, and some from outside the school. We were fortunate to have invited such a helper.
Okay, and this is the second part of our video. In this part, we tell a story. That is, our team found a stray cat, whose name is Kang Yuan. Okay, and we found the stray cat. To save the cat, we have to put it to somewhere, which is the animal. How to say that? Sorry, the animal saved society. this society is what we want to introduce in this video. So in the second part, we just tell the story. That is, we put one stray cat we found to the society. Okay.
and are experts in animal protection at Southeast University. Yeah, and some from outside the school.
Sorry.
汤圆是在我们宿舍园区出生的，大概就是在去年。
And from the third part, which is the introduction, we invite some staff in this society and to introduce their introduce what they do for the stray cat in our school. And in this part, in the third part, we also put the timeline into 3 little parts. The first little part is what they do to save the stray cat, which means when they found the stray cat, what they will do for them. And this video, I think I didn't show it wholly. This video is to introduce the first little part, and we also use some we also use some
Transitions.
Okay, just trans. Okay, I don't want to see it.
Transition?
Yeah, transceiver.
Transition?
Transition.
还是比较害怕的，就是一直也不吃饭。
This is the first, and in the second little part, we want to introduce the society, what the society do for the unfound stray cats in our school. The first little part is we found a stray cat and send it to the society. And the second little part is society, what the society do for the stray cat automatically. And we also use some.
然后最后就没有救过来。
Transceiver.
The Animal Protection Association is a professional organization that rescues stray animals. They are well aware of the situation of stray animals in Southeast University.
现在是已经统计上42只，但是现在猫。
Okay, after this is also the interviewing. And the third little part is why they establish such a society.
人为遗弃的。
Okay.
In addition to treating stray cats sent by students, the Animal Protection Association will also provide daily care for stray cats on
很
campus.
多同学他们也不知道应该如何
Okay,
喂
this
猫。
is also the interviewing. And this from here we also use some transceiver.
Okay. Okay. How about the ending?
Okay, and this also will show.
Okay, that's good. So you don't have only interviews, you have also this type of images. That's important, I think, not to have just very long interviews one after another. I think you should be mixing them with something else, right?
Okay, okay. And this is the end of the video.
加入了这个社团。
The Animal Protection Society set up Finance Department.
Okay, so it's just the audio for now.
Organization Department, Propaganda
Okay,
Department.
that's good. Can I give some comment, Brendan?
Work together to help the stray cats in the
Yeah,
school.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Okay, thanks. That is all of our video.
yeah, good. It's difficult to see the whole thing because we're just seeing little things here and there. But as you explain it, I think it's a good idea how you explain it. That you guys had a little story of finding the cat, and then what are we gonna do with this cat, and then you go there. I think that's a great idea. Maybe you talked this idea before with Kit and all that, but I think that's a good idea in the structure of the editing, right? So you have a little story and then you introduce the people later. That's good, I think.
Yeah.
the thing is that then in the second part, you just have interviews one after another. So you have to do something there, either cut these interviews very shorter and maybe put something on top of them, because if not, it's just talking heads one after another, right? And that's not gonna be very fun to watch or to listen. No?
Okay.
You maybe have a nice story going on, and then suddenly we are just listening interviews one after another. So you have to find a way, also maybe a creative idea to put something on top of those interviews. Ideally, I think we discussed about maybe shooting them at work. I think you had some images of the hospital, right? Or of those type of places. So you should illustrate those interviews with the B-roll, with the other images you have. And you cannot just show interviews like 1, 2, 3 minutes of interviews, just the person talking. You know, that doesn't work. You have to put some illustration, something to illustrate what this person is saying, using the other images you shot. You know?
Oh, I got it. Thanks.
I'm just wondering whether or not at the animal rescue shelter, whether what happens at the end with the cat. So when it gets to the shelter and it's rescued, then I mean I'm actually just thinking about the images that you might want to put over the top of the last interviews that you've done. Is there anything where the cat is released back, or someone picks it up and takes it home and they become someone's pet? Or what happens to that once it goes to the shelter? Like we didn't watch the whole film, but that might be something that you could get as a pickup. Like what happens to the cat in the end? Does someone adopt it? Can we see someone filling out paperwork or taking that cat home and it being with the kids or people? Or do you know something like that, where there might be another set of images that you could record that could go over the top of those? Because it looks like you've got about 25, maybe 30 seconds of talking heads there, which is fine. They're probably saying really great stuff, but like Luis is saying, you need to have some additional material, a different of the cat shelter or the rescue shelter there over the top. So what do you think?
Okay, actually, some of the cats are adopted, some of the cats are rescued, and some of the cats they died. In this part, actually, where?
Because in some ways you need to end the story. So you start the story with the story about, we found this cat. And then we need to know what happens to the cat in the end.
At some end of the cat, we have say it in this part of video, but in the interviewing, but it may be not that attractive. So next I will put it on the screen, to type it on the screen and to show in the end of the video. And in this video, the voice said the cat Tang Yuan died, but I think it is not that happy, so I didn't.
The cat died.
I didn't type it on the screen.
The cat died.
Yeah. But maybe you can say that, and then in the next sentence say, but other cats get adopted, and if you've got any footage of people adopting cats and taking them home, maybe.
Actually, it's a good reflection that you are making. Like, it's a sad that this story didn't. Sometimes it happens actually, right? You are following some character, and then this character doesn't keep going, right? In this case of this cat, the cat really didn't keep going. But sometimes, like for example, you are following a sports person, and the person doesn't win the contest. So what are we gonna do, right? He didn't win. What are we gonna do? So it's a good thinking what you are doing. Like, it's a sad scene. Should I use it or not? It's a good question that the one you are asking yourself. But you could maybe keep that story going without not talking about that cat. Maybe that cat will leave it at that, and we don't say that died. But then you can keep going and saying, some cats are rescued, some cats are taken by other people, and you can go into other cat even because your cat died. No, maybe. This is the kind of the alternatives that you can have. No, but what Kit's saying is true. We kind of need to know, keep going. You can exploit this story of the cat and use it to illustrate the other parts of your video. So that's good for you. But at the same time, we need some sort of closure with this story, right? Because we put the cat there and then you kind of forgot about it, maybe. We need some sort of closure. We need to keep going on this story a little bit more, maybe. So it's a good point what Kit is saying.
Thanks.
But it looks good though. It looks great. So based on the timeline that you've got it looks like you've got 4 minutes, but you sort of put everything all on Vision Track 1, is that right? So they're not sort of, and then you've got titles on a track. Oh, what is this? Sorry, what is this program that you're editing on? What's it called? It's a different editing software. It's okay.
Yeah, it's popular software in our country. It's a little bit easier to use than PR.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I can see that you've divided everything up neatly, so you can see the title tracks and you can see the different audio and the music. So that works. Have you had any problems with audio in terms of the sound?
I don't know how to correct the color, which is I want to learn in this class.
Yeah.
The color of the transceiver or the color of the interviewing. What are the difference between them?
It may be, I'm not sure. It looks like up the top in your sort of Windows menu, it looks like there's like a play button in a rectangle, and then there's a little, it looks like a bin for music and a bin for titles, and then there's a star. What is the second one from the end that looks like a little 3-petal flower? Can you see? This is sort of up in the top left-hand corner, underneath all of your clips. I'm wondering, oh no, keep going up your mouse higher up.
Oh,
up the top, yeah, up the top there.
Maybe I have to use some gray color at the beginning.
Oh, it's hard for me to explain. It may be that there's if I'm not sure about this program, but whether or not there is an option in this program to actually adjust the color of your images. Generally, it would give you the option. I'm not sure. If you double click on one of those images on the timeline, is there a way that it takes you into a color correction window or something?
We can change the color in another way. We use there, but I don't know how I know how to change, but I don't know to what effect. Because when I wanna tell the cat is the cat was dead, maybe I have to use the color gray or black. But when I want to say the cat was adopted, I use the color more colorful. I don't know if it is right to have such I don't know if it's right to do it.
Yeah, I mean that's basic ideas. Like what you are thinking is the basic, the right basic thinking. I mean it's a lot more sophisticated than that. But at this point, I think if you can just make all your shots be without any problems, I think that's already nice.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, so it looks like you've made a lot of progress since last time.
Looks great.
But I think the challenge for you now is to make sure that you don't have long interviews without a lot of visual image to support it. Yeah. So, but you've cut it down quite significantly, which means you have now an extra minute or so to play around with. If you want to make it longer to 5 minutes, you still have that space. So yeah, I think it's important that you think a little bit about trying to visualize more what the people are saying, and not just having long interviews in a line, because that becomes quite boring quite quickly for the audience.
Yes, so let the video more attractive. Yeah,
you need to illustrate, show some visual side, and as as Kit and Louise have pointed out, you need to bring the story to an ending. It doesn't end, it doesn't seem to be ending so clearly right now. And so maybe that's something for you to think about over the next week or so. And if you need some, yeah, go on. Kit.
I'm just wondering if it's possible that you could export, if everyone in this stage, I mean, I'm happy to take a look at the videos that everyone's at this stage and I can give feedback. If you would be able to, because it's hard to see based on sort of looking at the timeline now, but if you would be able to export it for us and send it to Brendan, and then we can have a look at it. And if there's any suggestions, I'm happy to give some suggestions for that last section, if that helps.
Thanks a lot, but this software cannot produce the project document.
You can just export the video.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't have that function. I know it. I have tried too much times, but we have to realize the same function. We have to use another way, but not export the document.
Oh.
I don't know why he have to do this, but it's the fact.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's to do with the software itself. But you can record screen. That could be an option just in the short term. Perhaps you could record screen in your computer. When you press play, put it on full screen, and that could be one way to export it out in the short term. But anyway, maybe do a little bit more research as to why you can't export the project.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Seems very strange. Very weird. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Okay,
thank you. Looks great. Looks great.
Hopefully you'll figure out how to export the file and also what you need to do over the next 2 weeks to make the final cut. What improvements you need to make. Okay, if you can stop sharing, I did go and talk to the Hocus Pocus team, and I think they're having there's some issue with the way their computer is set up in the studio. It doesn't allow for screen sharing, but maybe if you could just quickly update us, Hocus Pocus, on where you are now. What's the status of your project? Yoshimoto-san, can you hear me?
Okay, so we're up to changing the entire film a lot, and we are thinking about. I mean, like previously we had the feedbacks for like not to use animation. I mean, whether to use animation or not, and we decided that we won't use animation, but still we have to express what we want to have as a message. So we're planning to change the entire construction of the movie, and it's gonna be based on pictures because we didn't get movies from Adobe Premium or some others, and the outline will be like first we will show you a few photos of food waste, and after that we explain the general issue of food waste in the world, and after that we explain about the same issue in Japan and also in the Osaka University, and we will move on to the interview that we had, and we're gonna have it short for that, and after that we are planning to express what we thought about it and what we think we need to do it. So that's all.
What with regards to the permission for shooting on campus, who is it who has refused to give you permission? Is it the Seikyo?
Good luck.
You mean the cafeteria?
Yeah, yeah,
Thing?
the cafeteria. Okay. Yes, it's more like I screwed up, but I didn't get permission. Okay, I'll talk to you after class and we can see if there's any other options that we can follow in terms of trying to get access or figuring out some way you can film to show the reality of the situation on campus. So I will talk to you after the class. Okay.
I think my question would be for the new storyline. How does it end? What is the conclusion that you come to? So to say that there's a big food waste problem and that in Japan it's like this, and then here at the university it's like this, and then we see the situation. What's the ending of the film?
This is my personal idea, but we want to have it as baby step, kind of like we indeed we have a really big program as the entire world, but so far what we can do is quite small. So, but despite that, we have to do it. It's gonna be step by step, but we need to do what we can do for right now.
So are you going to film the solutions? So with the activists that you've done the interview with, are there going to be any B-roll material or something of the solutions, of those short-term solutions that you're talking about? Because I think that's going to be important, because if it's an issue of pointing out what the problem is, it sounds to me like you need to have something to conclude the film that points out what the solution is for people. Otherwise, for an audience, it will be really difficult. Like there's no conclusion at the end.
Yeah, that's the problem we're facing now, because we realized we don't have much B-rolls to express what we thought and what we can do about it. We may have some pictures for it, but we're not sure about what movies we should take or what we can take.
Luis, do you have any suggestion at all at this point, like in terms of the B-roll or pickups or anything? I feel like you need to do pickup. You might need to film with the activists or something to find out what those small solutions are, like to find time to do that. I really think the video is going to need that.
I'll have a talk with them, Kit, after the session, because they're just around the corner. I think it's not working really well to try to do this over Zoom because of the delay involved. So I'll have a chat with them. But maybe we could finish by actually hearing from the Spark House team about where your project is. Somebody from Spark House going to be able to talk a little bit about the situation for your video project? Yeah, okay.
Okay. Recently we need to maybe take the extra B-roll of the owner son, the owner of the pet shop, maybe this weekend. And then we need to clear up the stories a little bit to make it clear. I think, as you said before, the dance part and the pet part are not so clear, right?
Right.
And yes, and we are picking maybe the background music for the next week. Yes, and this week we will do the extra shot. That is the most important thing.
Yeah. What about you had a problem with your audio? How you because the voice of the main person who's interviewed, it was quite distorted. Have you done anything to try to improve that audio quality?
Yeah, that thing we haven't tried, but I think in Premiere we can fix that by lowering the level of the sound, right?
You should maybe try and do that as soon as you can.
Okay.
Sure that it's under control. And also don't forget about the titling, the subtitles as well, because we will need English subtitles for your video. I think it's predominantly everything is in Japanese, yeah?
Yes, for the title, maybe we will produce with another software called what? Called Vrew, VREW. And we will import that to our video, and we will translate it into English, and that is okay.
Okay. Right. Well, as long as you have a plan for the next couple of weeks so that you can finish on time, it sounds like you're okay. And I think this applies to all teams. If you're going to need to do some filming over the next 2 weeks, please let me know as soon as possible, because I can imagine that if every team wants to take the cameras out over the weekend, then we could have an issue there. So please let me know via email so that we can set it up for you to go filming. Okay, good. Any comments, guys? We're all good?
I think for me, my only concern is just if there are pickups that you need to do, please do them this week, because if there's any problems in terms of people getting sick or people not being available, it's just too close to the deadline of delivery of the film if you leave it to the following week. So if you do have pickups, please do them this week, and be prepared to give us an update on where your projects are at next class. I look forward to hearing what's going down and how those updates that you've been discussing today have progressed next week, because I think otherwise if it's pushed into the following week, your project won't be finished in time.
Yeah, so the other thing we have to recognize is that I think next weekend is when the university has the entrance exams. So it's very difficult for us to get access to the studio. I mean, you can do it, but the university doesn't really like people walking around campus while these entrance exams are going on. So we need to plan around that as well. So yeah, I would suggest that you bring forward your filming as early as possible. And so that next week, you're not going filming, you're just editing and fixing things and making sure everything is fine. There is a danger that you would leave it and everything until the weekend of 22-23, which I wouldn't recommend you do that. I'd really suggest that if you're going to work on that weekend, that you're only doing some minor fixing. If you're actually ending up spending the whole day editing, yeah, and I think you'll probably find yourself in big trouble meeting the deadline on Monday, the 25th. Okay, so does anybody have any questions or any concerns about the projects or where we are? Anybody need to get access to the studio in the next few days? Okay. I don't see anybody. Well, if you do, then please send me an email. This session has actually been a bit challenging, especially because of the technology of sharing the projects over Zoom. It didn't quite work out how I envisaged it happening, but at least we know that your projects have moved on since last time, which is good. And I think we also have a clear idea of some of the challenges that you're facing going forward over this next 2 weeks. And really, I would suggest two things. If you do want to share your videos with us, what I will do is I'll provide another Dropbox link for you to upload your video. So I suggest you try and do that. And then if you need to contact us or you would like to get some feedback or some advice, then I would suggest that you email me and we can set up some opportunity to provide you with some additional support to make sure you can get the projects across the finishing line in 2 weeks' time.
It's probably also worth saying that a lot of the problems that are being discussed in this last session now it's very common. It's normally filmmaking is problem solving and puzzles. So it's a normal process. So don't be stressed out about it, but it's important now to focus really hard on the finishing the work well.
Yes, just to add on that, yeah, it's true. It's maybe one of the difficult parts when you're in the middle and then it's like kind of still not kind of there, or it's a difficult part when you're in the middle of the edit. But then it comes, you have to get it to a point where, okay, it's kind of working. It's not perfect, but it's kind of working, and then it's going to be easier, I think. So it's kind of normal, but you do have to make a little bit more effort to just get it to a point where it's kind of working. Even if it's not perfect, it's kind of working and you're more or less happy. And then you can make it as good as possible. But that base has to be there. But it's normal too, basically.
Okay, so yeah, I would encourage you to try and, as Luis said, get the basics functioning before you start trying to get sort of flashy special effects going in and things like that. Make sure you've got the basics working and the stories working, and then you can gradually make some improvements to it. All right then. Anybody else got any comments, questions, concerns? In that case, then we're a few minutes early, but that's fine. And we'll connect again next week. And maybe if we have the chance to sort of get an update on your project next week, that would be fantastic as well. And let's work towards the final deadline, which is 2 weeks from today. Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing your projects with us today. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week in class. Okay, then.
Seeing you again.
Yeah.
See you guys. Good to see you.
Bye-bye. See you.